Hello, folks. This is a paranormal truth seeker. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a case that I've had that I've been working on for about 2 years, more or less. So let me tell you where it started. I think you'll find it interesting. But before I get started, please do me a favor. Please like and subscribe and comment. So I got this phone call from a person after an email, and they told me that their house was haunted, they believe, potentially by a demon. Now, a lot of people have seen a lot of shows and have a lot of ideas about what might be going on, why it could be demonic. But this one was particularly interesting. So, the lady began to explain to me some of the things going on. Most of the things that you might hear with a normal haunting. Maybe some kinetic activity, people walking, perhaps, or something walking, making some noises, some bangs on the walls, the dogs being very leery, not wanting to go into certain areas, staring at other times, things moving. We've all heard those things, but where it gets really interesting is that the house had burnt down at one point, and there had been some activity there prior to, based on the fact that whoever owned the home was involved in witchcraft and had buried some of the objects around the outside of the house. And so when they rebuilt the home, these objects were found and, well, reburied. So it didn't stop the activity. Once the home was repaired after a fire, things only began to increase based on what I was told through eyewitnesses that, well, we're neighbors. Nobody really believed it, I guess. They maybe thought the people that lived there were a little crazy. Where it got really interesting is I went out for an investigation and we captured a little bit of, well, what I'll call evidence, some unexplained noises that we couldn't quite come to a conclusion of what could have caused them. So we found it interesting. Yeah, we used the typical equipment, but what got really interesting was I got somebody involved who has some abilities. Now, these abilities are very interesting. I've worked with a number of people with abilities over the years, but this person was able to tell me things that there's no way she could have known because I didn't tell her. Once I got her to location, she was able to tell the homeowner things that the homeowner had not told me, and the homeowner confirmed, which I found very interesting. One of the things that had happened was, well, she had told me to look in this particular area and that I would find candle wax where rituals had been carried out. And indeed, I looked in that area and didn't see it. And she told me no, and she pointed at the wall. And I looked in that area in this little closet area, we'll call it. And yes, there was. It was red candle wax. She had not been in there, couldn't have known. I'd watched her the whole time. But she was able to ascertain other things that were going on there. We did a cleansing, and the things seemed to have stopped. But recently, things have been picking up. So we're going to go back out there and see what's going on. Now, the family had heard things, as I recall, like growling and some other noises that just weren't explainable. But those kind of things are always interesting to me as to how you can get somebody who can go into these places that absolutely knows nothing, but yet knows exactly what's going on. I don't know if you've ever experienced it or not, but when it happens, it's definitely, to say the least, interesting. And what I mean by interesting is, how would they know if they hadn't been there? Unless they had some sort of an ability, or maybe they were just lucky at guessing. I've worked with a number of people in the past who had some of these gifts, and they were able to tell me things like, for example, the homeowner was seeing a certain apparition, boy, girl, whatever, and they were able to describe that person to a T, only coming into the house to and see whatever they do. I recall one particular case. I went into the home and the homeowner told me about some of the things that were going on in the home, and I saw some sort of apparition. It looked very foggy, but the person that was with me had ability, saw the apparition too, described what she saw. It wasn't what I saw. What she saw was an actual person. What I saw looked like fog. Immediately, the homeowner got up, got a picture out of the drawer, and it fit the description. Now, there are no pictures of this person around. She'd only been to the home one time. How did she know? So there are some people out there with abilities, but I'm going to tell you honestly, I've been to Missouri one too many times, so you're going to have to show me. I'll keep you updated on this case. I may have to go back into a blessing, I think is what we're looking at, cleansing, whatever you want to call it. So we'll see what we experience. We've got EVP out of the place, which EVP, as I've told many people before, can be picked up anywhere, anytime. Doesn't mean a place is haunted. Anyways, that's all I've got for now. That's the only case I'm working on that's active. When I get out in the field, I'll do some video, maybe post it online for you. If you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to hear more stories about places I've investigated, let me know. And, well, I'll either do a story on it, or we'll get out in the field and take a look at it. Again, this is the Paranormal Truth Seeker. Please like and subscribe. And remember, look at my website, prosinvestigations.com. Thank you for watching this video.